Would you like to respond to Ravi Srivastava? What explains this change of heart? And also the previous question, that came in from Mr. Chitre, why aren't you going for a mentioning if this is such an urgent case? Both those questions to you, Mr. Ojha.
Yes. In next week, it will be mentioned, first thing. Second thing, जो उन्होंने कहा था कि it is politically motivated. Same affidavit was filed by their leader, Mr. Aditya Thackeray. And we have filed one perjury and contempt application under section 340 of CRPC for taking Aditya Thackeray and his advocate into custody. That application is pending in the court. Then one legal notice issued by Supreme Court and High Court Litigants Association, defamation notice, to Aditya Thackeray, main accused, and it was received by him. The notice is for damages of rupees 19,750 crores. Third thing, why we are not mentioning this petition? We took around 7 to 10 days for drafting, that is 230-page petition. It is sent for filing and we will get the circulation. That is different thing. It is only storm and fallacy. अरे ऐसा हो गया, आपने तो लाल शर्ट ही पहन लिया था, इधर उधर की बात मत कर, ये बता काफिला कैसे लूटा, हमें राहजनों से गिरा नहीं, तेरी रहबरी का सवाल है। तो ये पहले बता कि आदित्य ठाकरे वहां था कि नहीं, उसका मोबाइल टावर लोकेशन वहां था या नहीं था, झूठा क्यों बोला, क्यों ये स्टोरी बनाई कि उसका हड्डी टूट गया था, ये हो गया था, वो हो गया था, क्यों बिहार के जो आईपीएस अधिकारी आए हैं जिन्होंने दिशा सालियान के केस का फाइल मांगा, उनको क्यों डिटेन किया, क्यों दिशा सालियान के फैमिली के घर पे किशोरी पेडनेकर गई और उनको कहा कि आप साइन कर दीजिए.
Okay.
So these are the points.
All right. Akhil Chitre wants to respond to you on that. Akhil Chitre.
First of all, there are visual effects which I think all the media houses have it, that on the 8th June, which Mr. Ojha is claiming about some tower locations, Mr. Aditya Thackeray was in the funeral of his grandfather. So that would be shown in the High Court or wherever the inquiry team requires. And secondly, Mr. Nikam said that I said that political parties have filed a case. I think it's hilarious on his part. I never said anything as such. I said that this case is politically motivated.
Okay. Shaina NC, the case is politically motivated. This is the claim coming in repeatedly from the opposition parties there in Maharashtra. Your response to this claim?
Firstly, no case should be politically motivated. Let me please say, not you, me, or anyone is the judge. If a matter is sub judice, the allegations either way need to be proven in a court of law and let the court decide. But it is absolutely clear that this case has been filed by a victim's father. Now, for whatever reasons, if he feels that the postmortem took too long, it took over 50 hours, or there is some new evidence which has come into play, or if it was a cover-up, or if he was put under pressure, or if it was Anil Deshmukh, or if it was the government of the day, all these are questions which will be answered based on the substantive evidence which is proven in a court of law. So if Aditya ji has nothing to worry about, then this ends it then and there. So let's not get into speculation. But at the same time, if a child loses life and her father feels that there is more than meets the eye, that too must come out in the public domain, because then you have a reason to reopen a case which seems to be very high profile. But having said that, none of us need to sit on judgment. Let the courts do its job. Let the Ojha ji, if he feels that there is so much more that needs to come out, well, that has to be proven in a court of law. What does BJP or Shiv Sena have to do with this particular case, or for that matter, any case? It is not politically motivated. And in the days to come, when you have people talking about defaming, you're defaming both ways, right? So if Anil Deshmukh was the then Home Minister, and if he was brought under pressure, or there were hours post the post-mortem which are areas of contention, and if the matter is sub judice, if calls were made for cover-up, the father of the deceased has every right to have all these questions answered in a court of law.
Absolutely.
This has nothing to do with Shiv Sena or
Yeah.
BJP
Yeah,
or
let me bring in
anybody
Ravi
else.
Srivastava on that. Ravi Srivastava, I think one or two very important points. End of the day, if the father is a victim, does he not have a right to knock on the doors and get justice? And the kind of questions that you're raising, you're actually raising questions or you're shaming the victim who is actually seeking justice today.
Absolutely not, Madhav. I am for it that there should be a justice should be given. The victim should get the justice. Our father has got a full right to go to the court and see to it that it reaches a logical end. But here the issue is that it appears to be a politically motivated case because involving a young politician from a rival party, and if ultimately it is found that he is not guilty, then it's a loss of reputation for him for no reason. If it is remotely not found, because had there been something substantive at that time when the initial inquiry was done, then it should have come out at least in the open that whether he was physically present over there or he physically tried to play with some evidences or something like that. So if it becomes totally unsubstantiated case, then it's a loss of reputation for
Okay, you're playing with the reputation
reason.
of someone who's a known politician in the state. Advocate Aniket Nikam, your response.
Madhavji, when he said that this is a politically motivated case, by saying so, we are knocking off the grievances of the father of the victim. As I said earlier, and Shaina ji also said earlier, the politics has nothing to do, no political party has anything to do with the petition that has been filed by the father of Disha Salian. He is the victim, his father, he's suffered for so long, he's just trying to bring on record the grievances, that grudges that he has. And the court will look into it eventually. The court will have to decide one way or the other. Therefore, by saying that filing of petition itself is a political move, I say sorry, it cannot be so. The father of victim has knocked the doors of the court. We have to respect that, and courts will take the appropriate decision. That's all.
Shine and see, one of the other charges being made is that, this is an attempt to divert from the Aurangzeb issue, which did not work on ground as the ruling party wanted to. How do you respond to that? You would have seen that comment coming in from Sanjay Raut as well.
Look at the kind of preposterous comments that Sanjay Raut ji makes. First and foremost, I am of the opinion, and this is my independent opinion, that we should not use politics in any case which is very serious, as is the nature of this particular case, because this is an independent inquiry of a father. I am not sitting on judgment, and I hope that Aditya Thackeray has absolutely nothing to do with this case. This would be a huge relief. So it's not as if somebody is being targeted. The point is that in a particular case, right, wrong, or otherwise, if there are systemic flaws too, then that too needs to come out. If the Home Minister of the then government was involved in kind of shielding, maybe not him or many others, then that too must come out. So I just want to say this constant lame argument that it's a political conspiracy, please, let's not get into that, because none of us can be judges. It's only evidence in a court of law that proves who is innocent and who is guilty. And as far as political motivation is concerned, Madhav, Sanjay Raut wakes up every single morning. Sometimes he's lost in confused translation, doesn't know whether Aurangzeb was a great leader or he is a great leader. What his viewpoint is, only God knows. So I am not going to sit on commentary on that. And I don't think it is for us to sit on judgment on this particular case too.
Well, certainly Sanjay Raut is no stranger to controversy, but very quickly, Akhil Chitre, would you like to respond to that? Shaina NC says, we all hope, or at least she hopes, that, Aditya Thackeray is cleared of charges, but there is a process that has to be followed. Let's not politicize this process, is what she's saying.
The family has whole right to go to the concerned authorities, file case, go to High Court, and even Aditya ji has clearly stated that he'll answer in the court of law. But these BJP leaders in Maharashtra, they are on bandwagon, and they are making statements that he should be put behind bars and etc. and etc. Now let me tell you one thing, whatever Mr. Anil Deshmukh, the ex-Home Minister, what they are claiming must have done or not done, but for last 3 years, whose government is there in Maharashtra? Leave Maharashtra, from Gully to Delhi, Bharatiya Janata Party and Mahayuti is there. So why were they sitting over this?
Okay.
Why is the SIT?
We'll have to leave it there.